The Grumpalump by Sarah Hayes and Barbara Firth. The bear stared at the Grumpalump. The lump groaned. The bear stared, and the cat sat on the Grumpalump. The lump grumped. The bear stared, the cat sat, and the mole rolled on the Grumpalump. The lump grumped. The bear stared, the cat sat, the mole rolled, and the dove shoved the Grumpalump. The lump still grumped. The bear stared, the cat sat, the mole rolled, the dove shoved, and the bull pulled the Grumpalump. The lump still grumped. The bear stared, the cat sat, the mole rolled, the dove shoved, the bull pulled, and the yak whacked the Grumpalump. The lump still grumped. The bear stared, the cat sat, the mole rolled, the dove shoved, the bull pulled, the yak whacked, and the armadillo used it for a pillow. But the lump still grumped. Then the gnu blew. The lump grew plump and got humps and bumps, bits and bobs, and interesting knobs and wings and things attached with strings. And still the gnu blew. Then, to everyone's surprise, the Grumpalump began to rise. The gnu drew breath and clambered in. The Grumpalump began to grin. "I'm off on a trip in my hot airship," said the gnu, and flew. Absolutely true. And how the bear stared. Of course, it's a delightful story, and it's great to read to little children. But what might not be immediately obvious is, if we look more carefully at this story, it has some quite challenging things to say about the nature of the church and our own involvement with it. Have a look at this verse from the ancient book of Job. "For God does speak, now one way, now another, though man may not perceive it." God is really keen to speak to us. He speaks in all sorts of ways, even sometimes through a preschool storybook. To understand the parable, what we need to know is that this curious pile of coloured fabric, the Grumpalump, represents the church. It doesn't really look much dumped there in a messy pile, but the bear knows somehow that this is not the whole story, that the Grumpalump is supposed to amount to something more significant than this. The bear represents the whole world, your friends, mine. Everyone who isn't part of the church but secretly wishes that they could be, who wishes that the church could be something worthy of giving your life for. Everyone else in the story is part of the church. The cat went into the ministry because it offered him a secure vocation, and it gives him a certain status, sitting up there with everyone else looking up to him. We can imagine that the cat is quite comfortable and would prefer that the church should remain exactly as it is. The bear studied the cat carefully and decided that the cat is not what he is looking for. The church is a strange and varied place, and people like to come in and play games. The youngsters play football, the families go camping together, and the old dears play Scrabble and drink tea. The church serves them quite well as far as it goes, and the bear is impressed with everything that goes on, even though he suspects that really there should be more to it than this. But not everyone is happy. The dove would like the church to be different, better somehow. She doesn't have any position of leadership, but she pursues a campaign of constructive criticism. A little suggestion here and an observation there. She's become really good at it, and it seems that whatever the church does, the dove will be there to complain and find fault with it. People have learned to put up with her though, especially the cat, who tries hard to ignore her and stay in his seat. But he can't ignore the next player. The bull is loud and strong. He has a sense of personal calling and lots of energy. For a while, everyone enjoys the ride, but in the end, the bull only rearranges the Grumpalump. He doesn't change it in any meaningful way. The bear is unimpressed. He knows straight away that the bull is not the solution he's looking for. So he's some distance away when a new character appears on the scene. The yak brings the authority of the bishop, the apostle, or the prophet. Even from a distance, the bear can hear him shout, "Come on, church! Wake up, church! Do better! Work harder!" The yak raises a cloud of dust, but soon it's clear that nothing is really going to change. The mole keeps on rolling. The dove keeps shoving and the bull keeps pulling. The bear keeps on wishing that things were somehow different. Some people start to think that the only thing for it is to sit down, close your eyes, and wait for the second coming. Then the canoe blew, and that made all the difference. When the Spirit of God starts to inhabit the church, a lot of weird stuff begins to happen and everyone feels unsettled. The bear and the yak are quite out of their depth, and the cat thinks this might be the time to bail out completely. But the bear is more hopeful than ever before and would like to have a little talk with the canoe. When the Grumpalump heaves and rises from the ground, everyone gets tipped out. There's nothing to sit on, nothing to roll on, nothing to pull, shove or whack, and certainly nowhere quiet to sleep. But the bear is certain that finally something truly worthwhile is happening. So the story doesn't end as I would like, because I would like the canoe to take the others with him when he flew. Perhaps especially the bear, who has waited for so long for the church to show her true colours.